When was the last time you guys did nothing? And when you were bored, you didn't brain rot. You didn't scroll through Twitter. Have you ever been in a place where you went through Twitter, then you went to Instagram, then you went to TikTok, then you closed the tab, then you opened it up again? You ever opened up Twitter and closed Twitter? You're in a cycle. You ever cycled yourself like that? That cycle is you trying your best to fill your brain with something, with something. Close Discord, open Discord. You know, like, and I didn't understand the importance of doing nothing because I was poor. And so my brain is designed that I have to always be constantly thinking about how to not be poor. I am always thinking about how to not be poor. Always. If I'm not thinking about how not to be poor, then I will be poor. That's how poor. That's the poor. And it's a very, very. It'll make you strong in some ways, but it will manifest and fuck you up in a lot of ways. And it was based off of fear. It was the fear of uncertainty that was really moving my shit. It was packing my shit. The fear of uncertainty. And I think the fear of uncertainty hits a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So as I started to get over my fears, as I started to kind of like understand what made me sad, once I understood things that were making me anxious, and then I started practicing Stoic principles that allowed me to detach from some of these feelings that were manifesting in unhealthy ways. And when I say detach from feelings, I don't mean not feeling feelings. I mean to feel the feelings and to actually explore it, not avoid it. I used to avoid certain feelings. Now I explore it. And if I feel it, I really try to understand it. And then the more you understand it, the more you can regulate it. And the less power it has over you. Then it just becomes an observation. Oh, wow, I feel sad about this. I wonder what that's about. Oh, wow, this is making me feel anxious. I wonder what that's about. But it doesn't be the thing that causes you to just act. And you don't have to just sit there and be confused. I think a lot of people who feel anxiety and feel these feelings, they just don't know where it's coming from and why. They can't put a name to it. And that sucks. It creates more anxiety when you feel something and you don't know why you feel certain things. It just keeps cascading. And then it causes you to do things to try to find comfort and relief. So if you feel anxiety, maybe you eat, or maybe you play a game, or maybe you just do something to kind of make you feel better, but it's a temporary thing to kind of cover the void, is to cover the pit hole. And we do that on a nonstop where we just try to find things to cover up the things that make us feel not so good, when actually the thing that we should be doing is actually opening it back up, going through the wound and figure out what's infecting it, and then putting disinfectant on it. Like that's what we should be, not just covering it and be like, oh, I feel better, because you're going to feel worse again. And it doesn't fix what's happening. It doesn't fix anything. It just temporarily makes you forget. Yes, being comfortable spending time and doing things by yourself helps a lot. I think what helped me was recognizing that there were certain ways that I was attached to people and or things where I felt like I couldn't operate or function or be happy without a certain person or a certain thing. So if any of you feel like I can't live, I will not be able to function or live without her or him, that one sucks. You can, but you have become dependent, or a certain thing as well. That dependency, or maybe you're the type of person that doesn't really think about yourself because you're constantly in other people's brains. Maybe you're thinking about other people nonstop. Maybe you're thinking about your girlfriend. Maybe you're thinking about your husband, or maybe you're thinking about work. Like maybe your brain is just constantly thinking about someone or something. And that's where your brain is all of the time. And if your brain is constantly on either someone else or other people or a friend group or a situation, if it's always on these other places, you never ever really get to sit down and just consume yourself because your brain is elsewhere. You're not present. And then your thoughts, you feeling good and bad, might have to be dependent on how other people feel about you. And that one sucks. Imagine you feeling bad or not being good because of how someone else's brain and how someone else interprets you. Like, imagine how much that sucks, that your happiness is dependent on something that you cannot control. Like your state of mind is influenced by something that you cannot control. Because you can't control people. We try to control people. Because of that, we manipulate them, we control them, we make them, and that's how you become a people pleaser. We try, but you can't. You can manipulate and you can try to force the outcome, but then you're not being authentic and it's going to fuck you up, bro. It's going to fuck you up. So here's an interesting, fun thing. So a part of the whole self-discovery process and learning about myself is making me understand people better. And when I understand people better, then it reverses. I understand myself better, then I understand people better. And now I'm starting to see people more objectively. I see types of people Like, think about Pokemon. This is my brain doing the thing where I take a complex potential topic and I turn it into something that you guys can understand. So think about Pokemon. I think about you live in the Pokemon verse and you don't know anything about fire types, lightning types, water types. You don't know shit about it. You just know there's fucking monsters. Right? But then there's another person who knows, oh, that's a fire type Pokemon. They're prone to burning. That's a water type Pokemon. They're prone to water attacks. That's an electric Pokemon. And then when you understand that there are types of Pokemon out there, and they're not always the same type, but there's types of them, then you understand how they function, you understand how they interact, the pros and cons, the weaknesses, then you understand how they interact with you and what type you are. Same thing with people and yourself. If you understand how you are and how you operate, and you understand how other people are and how they operate, then you understand the interactions. And when you start to see the big picture of Pokemon when it comes to the world, it changes everything. And the best part is that you don't have to be a water type if you don't want to be a water type. You can be whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to, your brain, your ability to be what you want to be is so crazy. Here's another fun tidbit. You know how we can all encounter something in life that's the same, but it can mean something different, okay? We can all watch the Nintendo Direct and something different comes from our brains. We can all go hiking and we can be put in front of a pond. There's an example. There's a pond. I think I read this from a book or something. And the pond, you can hop over it and there's rocks. One person might see it and be like, oh, this looks like fun. I'm going to jump on these rocks. I'm going to challenge myself and to get past it. And like, oh, that was awesome. That was fun. Another person will be like, what's the safest way to go across this pond? Let me analyze it. Let me sit. Let me relax. Figure it out. Boom. And feel accomplished with their own brain thought to cross it. Another person might look at it and be like, this is some bullshit. Fuck. Why did I come hiking? God damn. Why is this even in front of me? Why did I agree to this shit? They go across it reluctantly. And then there's some people who come across and they see this obstacle and they say, fuck it. I'm going back home. The point is that it's the same thing. The pond, the rocks, all of it, it's literally stationary. It is what it is. But your attitude and your mindset can change the reality of the things that you experience. And when you learn that you can shape your reality, right? You can shape it. Literally, you can change your attitude. You can change your perspective and realize the way that you view life is not have to be one way. You think it has to be one way because you're stuck in that one way, but it doesn't. And sometimes it's hard to see life in different perspectives because we're stuck in one fucking way. We only know one thing. So when someone says, how can you be so happy about that? Or how can you feel so good about this? Or how can you, because of attitudes and mindsets, and you don't have to be stuck in one thing. And that's a really important thing to know because it quite literally shapes your reality. People who have more pessimistic attitudes and realities tend to be more pessimistic about how life is. When things happen to them, it tends to be more of a negative thing, or more of a thing that hurts them. You know, more optimistic people, things happen to them and they see it as a challenge that they can overcome, something that's going to make them stronger, something that it's exciting. Wow, I get to figure shit out. But it's the same fucking thing. And you have to understand, you have to be careful with your attitude and your mindset because you might be setting yourself up for a self-fulfilling prophecy where you will be depressed or you will be sad or you will be angry or you will be frustrated based on your mindset. It's a very powerful thing. And you cannot underestimate the concept of your attitude and your mindset when it comes to life because it completely reshapes your reality. And then when you understand this, the beautiful thing about understanding your attitude and your mindset is you can allow life to shape you. But then when you stop allowing life to shape you and you take agency and control and ownership, you quite literally shape life itself. Life becomes the concept you heard, life becomes what you make of it. It does become what you make of it. You can stop playing the game of life that you've been playing and play a new one. You don't realize you have that power. You might not realize you have that power, but you can stop playing the game of life that you've been playing and play a new game. Some of us have conditions that make it harder to play, make us lean towards certain types of games or make it harder to switch. But self-awareness and therapy, learning about yourself, all of these things that I'm mentioning make it way easier to navigate changing the cartridges. Feel me?